Welcome back to Movie Moshow. Today we are going to review the supernatural horror film, In the Tall Grass. If you like our content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We post multiple times daily. Spoilers ahead. Siblings Becky DeMuth, who is 6 months pregnant, and her brother Cal moved to San Diego so that Becky can stay with her aunt until the baby is born and be placed for adoption. The two hear a young child called Tobin calling for help from a neighboring field of thick grass while stopped outside an old church. Later, they hear Natalie, his mother, pleading with him not to call for anyone. The pair enters out of concern but rapidly become separated and discover that their proximity to one another alters in an unusual way. The two decide to leave in their growing terror but are unable to find the path. As night falls, Cal finds Tobin holding a dead bird as he is battered and filthy. Tobin buries the bird in the path on the grounds that dead objects cannot be moved by grass. Ross, Tobin's father, runs into Becky, but they separate in the grass. Cal is encouraged to touch an old rock in the field by Tobin before they are cut off by Becky's screams as she is attacked by an apparition. Travis, Becky's child's father, arrives in the meantime in search of Becky and Cal. He discovers their car parked outside the church and proceeds to explore the grassy area. Eventually, he comes into Tobin, who suggests that they already know one another, and he directs him to Becky's decomposing body. Travis loses track of Tobin as he grieves. He removes a necklace from the corpse's pocket the following morning. To the same moment, a Tobin who appears to be from earlier shows up to the chapel with Ross and Natalie. Their dog Freddie runs into the grass upon hearing Travis, who is now calling out to Tobin, and the family follows him while Travis hears Tobin and searches for him. Ross stumbles over the rock and touches it as darkness falls while the family panics and flees. When morning arrives, Becky and Cal can be seen returning to the lawn to look into Tobin's cries. Tobin claims that Freddie passed away. Travis tells Becky and Cal to proceed in the direction of Tobin since he knows that grass does not move dead things, and the four of them eventually come together. Cal and Becky are informed by Travis that they have been absent for 2 months. The group moves toward a building they see in the distance. As they go, Becky gets a distressing phone call from someone advising them not to keep doing the same thing. The grass appears to enter Becky's uterus as they walk, causing her to faint. Ross then revives her, and they later reconnect with Tobin, who promises to show them the way out. A horrified Natalie approaches them and claims to have seen Becky's body earlier as Ross guides them to the rock. Then she issues a warning to them not to touch the rock. The others decide they want to go as Ross becomes more upset and Natalie cautions them against staying. Before going after the others, Ross shoots Travis and kills Natalie while claiming that the rock had shown him the truth and the way out, but that he didn't want to go. When Becky, Cal, Travis, and Tobin arrive at the abandoned building, they scout around and find Freddie hiding in a hole that leads to the road. Travis and Cal also learn that Tobin managed to leave the field. Travis slips and Cal, who is believed to have incestuous emotions for Becky, loses control of him, sending him tumbling to the roof. Ross follows them to the roof as Tobin watches this and runs into the field. The two continue to pursue Tobin, but Becky won't leave Travis and turns around as Cal runs away and is strangled to death by Ross. It is then discovered that they are stuck in a time loop, with Ross stalking Cal in the grass incessantly. Travis, who made it through the fall, looks for Becky. On opposite sides of the field, they can hear one another, and Becky confesses that she intended to place the child for adoption. Ross attacks Becky, but she stabs him in the eye and manages to flee as a thunderstorm starts. Grass creatures approach Becky and transport her to a rock with marks on it that are predictive of Becky's pregnancy. Becky desperately calls her previous self, pleading with her to stop Cal from harming Travis. She faints after experiencing a terrifying vision beneath the rock. When she wakes up, Cal is tending to her needs and feeding her with what is later identified as her infant. Becky gradually comes to the conclusion that Ross, who she had been seeing as Cal, was a hallucination. A short while later, Travis discovers Becky's lifeless body. When Ross confronts them when Tobin finds him, Ross fatally injures Travis. Becky fights Ross and uses her necklace to scratch out his other eye while Ross tries to force Tobin to touch the rock. Becky then succumbs to her injuries. After killing Ross, Travis comes to the conclusion that touching the rock is the only way to comprehend the grass. When Travis touches the rock, he experiences a number of bizarre images. Then he takes Tobin by the hand and leads him out of the grass toward a door, telling him to keep Becky and Cal from going into the grass. Just as Becky and Cal are ready to walk onto the grass, Tobin appears in the church across the street. He persuades them to stay outside by displaying Becky's necklace that Travis gave him, thereby completing the circle. As they make their way back home, Becky decides to keep her child. Travis passes away quietly on the grass as he watches them go. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe.